Hi everyone and welcome. Thank you for allowing me to come into your space for a little bit of time today. My name is Dawn of Embracing Dawn, and today is a timeless read with two new decks and one fairly new deck that I have. We started out with the Untethered Soul readings. That's this deck here. And the second deck was the Sacred Rebels deck. And then the third was the Starseed and Lightworkers deck. Now, we'll start with the Untethered deck, number one, Untethered Soul. And then if you just click that little arrow down on the left, it'll open up the description field. And then you can see the timestamps to go directly to whichever deck it is that you have chosen for your message for today. And also just take a minute to like the videos, please, if you enjoy them, and subscribe to help me grow and build awareness and to help me stay connected with you. Okay, so we are going to start with deck number one, the Untethered Soul. We're going to take a couple of cards from this deck and get the base message. Then we're going to use a new tarot deck that I've gotten as well and work with that to flesh out your message, and then we'll use a little bit more oracle for some details, okay? So let's get started with the Untethered Soul. So the first main message here is this place of centered awareness is the seat of the witness, the seat of self. That's the only seat from which you can let go. All right, and this is under freeing yourself. So this, for those of you that chose this as your reading and your deck that you're connecting to, then this is all about being the witness and being able to be aware and connected to the things going on around you. So we'll start with that, and we'll put that here. And then we have when a blockage gets hit, it's a good thing. It's time to open up internally and release the blocked energy. Okay, so that's when we're facing challenges and we're triggered by something, and it makes us react in what we feel is a negative way. So it causes anxiety or anger, any kind of charging emotion around it. And this is all about, again, getting connected, right? And relying on your own inner strength and being able to let go of those blocks and to free to free up more energetic space. And then your last one is when your stuff gets hit, let go right then, because it will be harder later. And this is all about dealing with things as they come, right? So the overall message is where you've had some things that have been blocked for you. You've either had some triggers, lately where stuff is coming up emotionally, and it could be in the mental body as well, where you've got old memories surfacing, you've got old things that are irritating you, that kind of thing. And we've got all these planets in retrograde right now, and soon Mars is going to be in retrograde, which will soften some of this assertive, aggressive energy once it goes into retrograde. But right now, for those of you that chose this deck, this is all around noticing your reactions to things and learning to separate yourself a little bit, get perspective, look at it from the observer point of view as a witness, as one of these things say, and deal with things in the moment, because there's past things that are coming up for you. For those of you that chose this and that are aligning with this already, there are things from your past that are coming up and they're triggering you in your present. And so the main message here is that's holding you back and that's restricting you, because there are things that you haven't been able to or haven't chosen to release and to let go of or to forgive. And that's restricting you. That's not restricting anybody else. That's restricting you. And you want to be able to deal with things in the moment. That fifth dimensional living, which is different than our third dimensional living, is really being able to move with things as they come and deal with things as they're presented to us in the moment and transmute that energy immediately or fairly quickly. Like sometimes, you know, we're at work and we get triggered and it's difficult for us to find 5 minutes to just sit and do an activity like an ice cube melt. Just taking that emotion and imagining an ice cube in your tummy that's just melting that, whatever that emotion is or whatever that trigger is, right out through your legs and into the earth and, dissolving that. Sometimes we don't have time for quick little tools like that. Or sometimes the trigger is a little bit big. So we need to be in a safe, private space, where we can handle that and deal with that. So dealing with things immediately as they come up transmutes that energy immediately. I'm just shuffling this deck really well because it's brand new and I don't want anything to be on repeat here. Okay, so let's just finish shuffling one more time. I'll split the deck up and we'll take a look at these individual messages and get some individual tarot messages to support them. Okay, let's give it a try and see how the deck cuts up. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Under this one here, where it's all about the place of your centered awareness is the seat of the witness. So, your soul space is, you're connected to your soul, to your higher self, and your higher self is, you're part of that consciousness collective, right? Collective consciousness, and you can literally observe from that space, kind of separate your ego out. So this is speaking to that space of being centered and then recognizing and seeing things from that space of just witnessing what's coming up without judging it. And with this, on top of it, we've got the Two of Swords, which is about uncertainty. So you've had these things coming up and you've not been necessarily trusting your instincts around certain things, trusting your intuition. You may have the ability as an empath to sort of see what people are not saying just through all of the nonverbal signals and the energy that they're giving off. And you've been getting mixed messages perhaps through that, And this is all about being able to just trust and be assured that you have the knowingness inside of you and you're totally capable of moving through things, and you can handle that. And then we have the Ace of Swords, victory. So you're ready for this. You're ready for this shift. You're ready to really take a look at stuff that's coming up because you're done with it. You're over it. You're done with it. Because all three messages here came from the same section of freeing yourself. And there's several sections within that deck. And so this is the main message, is all about being able to witness things from a more neutral point of view. Yes, it brings up emotions. However, we don't have to sit in something as if it's happening again, because when we have memories of things, those things come back to us and they feel as if they're happening right in this exact moment again, and the brain doesn't really understand time in terms of past, present, and future. You think of some joyful memory and your body feels joy. You think of a negative memory and your body feels that negative physical reaction as well still, So this is all about just being able to allow those to come forward and releasing them through bringing them to the light. So then in this next one, we've got, when the blockage gets hit, it's a good thing. It's time to open up internally and release that blocked energy. So you, in the recent past, you've been seeing these blocks coming up, these triggers coming up, for those of you this applies to. And you've been saying, oh, no, I don't want to deal with this again. I don't want to relive this, whatever it is you're with the self-talk. And the idea is it's coming up for a reason, and it's time for you to just look at it, just witness it, don't judge it. You know, you may feel some of those same emotions, but just acknowledge it. I see it, I forgive it, and I let it go. I release it. And literally when you release those blocks, that blocked up energy in your cells, your guides and your higher soul, everyone that's surrounding you and supporting you comes together energetically and helps you to release that and helps you to let that go. So that's no longer part of, you know, the programming that you operate from anymore. Your cells are more clear. You can flow. Everything flows better through, you know, through the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body. And then under this one, when the blocks hit, it's better to look at them and release them. You've got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So this is all about the home and blessings. So you've got some really great things that are waiting to unfold for you. We've got to get rid of these blocks. You know, we've got circumstances coming into your life where you're going to have lots of blessings. You're going to have abundance. You know, the home is going to be a really lovely, satisfying, nurturing space for you. Once, you know, or even more so if it already is, once you really start to allow this clearing to come up. And again, with all these planets in retrograde right now, they're, you know, they appear to not be moving or go in reverse. And what happens is the energy slows down and things can return to us from the past, you know, and that's positive, quote, or negative, quote. You know, it's all in how we perceive that. But in terms of blocks, it's time for you to really allow that release, you know, and seek a mentor if you need a mentor of some kind to help you with that. Seek support from others if you're not really familiar. But, you know, sit with one of your, if you use crystals, sit with one of your favorite grounding crystals and just open up and allow those things to come forward for the purpose of witnessing them, seeing them, acknowledging they're there, you know, telling the inner child, it's okay, I've got you, that was then, this is now, I see this from a different perspective, and we transmute that energy and we let it go, right? And then you've got dealing with things in the moment. And under that, you've got the 6 of Pentacles, which is generosity. And you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is luck. So again, this is a really good thing for you, although it may seem, you know, a little bit daunting because doing the work can sometimes be hard, you know, doing that inner work of clearing ourselves of all that old clutter and junk that holds us back, all of those programs, those fears, those anxieties, those, you know, things that were instilled in us as you grew up. Or you instilled, you know, yourself by adopting certain beliefs that don't serve you anymore. Now is that time for releasing that. And you have the beautiful support right now of, you know, the new moon energy. And although this is a timeless reading, it's particularly potent right now and powerful because we're right in this new moon energy. And it's a beautiful energy for setting intentions, right? And allowing ourselves to shift and manifest. So let's take a look at a little bit more crystal energy to see how we can support you on this journey. And there are all kinds of affirmations that you can search out you know, on social media, on the internet. You can, you know, get print books if you like to actually have a book in your hand. You can seek mentors. There's all kinds of tools that you can use that will support you in this transition. And you know, I can speak from experience that this is a really positive thing. This is very much any opportunity we have for growth that we have to really clear up old stuff. That changes who we are, it changes our vibration, it changes what comes to us and what we attract towards us because we're literally not the same anymore. We don't look at life from the same perspective or the same lens, right? Okay, so let's take a look here over this first one. We have red jasper, which is all about nurturing and blue lace agate, which is calm expression. So this is about, again, it's just reinforcing the message that you need to listen to yourself. You need to nurture yourself. Pay attention to the signals, because you're definitely getting messages and triggers. Things are triggering you here emotionally, mentally, and you're being asked to, it's time to take a look at that. It's time to really nurture that and to honor yourself. And then the calm expression of blue lace agate, that's fairly common. You could pick it up at metaphysical stores, crystal stores. That blue, it's blue and white. So that's around communication, calm, accessing to, spirit, higher source, collective consciousness, that kind of thing. And it really is it's a gentle energy. So here with the triggers and the blocks coming up, and that seeing it as a good thing and being able to transmute that energy, we've got angelite, which is all about peace. So this is going to bring you peace on top of the blessings and the home. So this all aligns still. Like, this is a really big shift for you, because then we have clear quartz, light embodied. And clear quartz, it amplifies whatever stone that it's around, but it's a beautiful, powerful stone, to open things up for you as well, and for you to connect with your intuition, your inner self, and your higher self and your guides. And so this could be a really big transition time for those of you that have chosen this. There's a lot that wants to be resolved. There's a lot of energy and support for you, universally, to move through this process right now, because all of the messages coming through are speaking to the benefits of it. That if you will take this step in allowing things to come up and allowing them to let go, and setting the intention either through your mind or through speaking out loud or through writing it down, to release these things as they're coming up for you, and to forgive and to let it go, then you've got the possibility of a very, very big transformation to take place, over the next several weeks, several months. It looks phenomenal. And then over top of this fifth dimension right now, dealing with things immediately as they come up, because it gets harder to deal with things later, you've got the generosity and luck with the 6 and the Page of Pentacles here. And Pentacles are generally about, the material in our world. And you've got Howlite, spiritual beginning, and Emerald, spiritual healing. So you've got this spiritual beginning happening for some of you. For those of you that are already on a spiritual journey, this is going to be an upgrade for you. This is going to be a frequency upgrade. You're going to be reaching a new plateau where, a new threshold where things are going to be perceived differently. And it's going to be an excellent thing for you, because you have spiritual healing with the Emerald. So all the way around, this is super positive, as a message. But you've got to do a little bit of work there. For those of you that this applies to, you've got to make sure that you put yourself first and you nurture yourself, and it's time to take the time to really work with your inner self, to work with others, to work with tools such as affirmations, meditations, crystal energy, also, essential oil energy, that kind of thing. I'm going to be putting together a video, I think, fairly soon, around how to make your own Palo Santo, like holy wood spray mist with essential oils as well. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested in that kind of thing. All right, so let's draw one more message for you and see what kind of advice you're getting. All right. And the advice is, I can release ancient pain simply by feeling it. See, look at that. Exactly. So what that means, that's back to being the witness again, right? Witnessing allowing it to come forward, because it's that same philosophy of things are hidden in the dark. You know, if things are kept secret or suppressed or repressed, then that just builds. It's not flowing fluid. It's very stagnant energy. And when we allow it to be seen, we're just allowing it to come up. We're allowing it, we're looking at it, and we're not owning those experiences again. You know, we're not putting ourselves back through them. What we are allowing is, we're going to shine a light on this. Okay, this is a trigger for me. You know, this, when someone does or says this is what happens. This is what it brings me back to. And you just got to sit and look at that quietly in, you know, a meditative moment or journaling, whatever your tool is that works for you. And you've got to get yourself connected and grounded. You know, it could be literally to the earth, outside in bare feet, or it could be with the use of supportive stones, you know, dark supporting stones like the hematite here, and shungite, you know, obsidians. But it's very important just to look at it from a neutral space and acknowledge it and see it, and then intend that that doesn't serve you anymore. It's no longer, you know, for your highest good, and you're going to forgive yourself and others that were involved. And it doesn't mean, you know, that that's okay, that what happened. What it means is you are releasing the hold that has on you through forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And it may be things that are totally unknown to you, but just set the intention and express that, and those things will, you know, you'll be able to release that old energy. And that makes room for beautiful new things. And according to this reading, like, this really could be a pivoting point for you in your perspective in life and in your blessings in life, and, you know, just so many things with this, you know, this ability and this willingness to take a look at stuff and begin to transmute it. So for those of you that chose the first deck, that's a fantastic reading. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to live big and shine bright. Shine your light bright, because you matter. Until next time. Okay. Hi everyone. For those of you that chose the second deck, which is the Sacred Rebels Oracle, we're going to start with your second deck message. We had a really powerful first message with the first deck, all around some great things. So I'm hoping that we will, these are really big cards, sorry. I'm hoping that we're going to have something that's just as powerful in this reading. Okay, let's get these shuffled up here and see what message Spirit has to give through these Sacred Rebels Oracles. So we'll pull 3 cards to get a base message. Then we will add some tarot information through tarot cards, and then we'll get a final message of advice as well. Okay. And again, you know, please like and subscribe while I'm shuffling up here. If it is that you're enjoying or you want to stay connected, help me to build and grow with others. If you think that what's in the readings is helpful, that would be great. Okay. So let's see, our 3 messages here are come to life. Okay. The word wants to be written, and bring it into form. How perfect is that? Okay, that's fantastic. So we've got, that's wonderful. These all connect to each other very, very nicely. So the coming to life, as you can see in the beautiful artwork here, we've got, you know, this woman who's sitting in this space, and she's illustrating on herself. She's literally creating her own, you know, her own reality. And we have this ability to create our own reality here. And she's bringing things into form. She's creating this life for herself, which connects here with it's time to bring something to form for you, which means it's time for you to manifest something in this world. And it says the written word here. The word wants to be written. So this is all around your creativity. This is all around your, your mental body, but also your inspiration. Because if you look here, she's connected cosmically and she has all these butterflies, which is transformation, right? So this, to me, the way that this is fleshing out so far, is this is a message that this is a really powerful portal in time for you, those of you that chose this deck and connected to this deck, for you to begin to start a journey of self-expression or educating others, something like that. So perhaps it is that you've always wanted to write poetry or write a book, be an author of some kind. Perhaps you're a composer and you write music or you write lyrics, that kind of thing, and you haven't put that out yet. Perhaps you do spoken word, even creative things like music, that's expression of word as well. So any endeavor, and it'll be different for all of you, but anything to do with bringing the written word into form, into manifesting that into the real world, this physical realm, and sharing that with others, that's what this message is all about. And that's amazing. That's super powerful, because we've all got, things that we want to express that we just don't. It holds us back because we have all this self-talk and chatter in our minds about all the reasons why we can't, we shouldn't, One of my least favorite words is should and shouldn't. Are. So, you've got something, those of you that are connecting to this, that's really all about expression and moving through those glass ceilings and pushing through those, those illusions of fear that everybody else creates for us. Get rid of those. It's time to really push through. And it doesn't matter. I mean, for example, look at me. I just started this, a couple of months ago, not even, and I just have a few followers. But I'm doing it. I'm pushing through. I push past all the fears and, all the sensitivities and all the reasons why not. Because you just got to do things. You've just got to do things for you, and everyone else will benefit in some way in the end, right? Okay. All right. So we have a lot of pentacles, which is, again, material. That's that... the material world, things in the material world. So come to life and self-expression here. You've got the Six of Pentacles with generosity and the Page of Pentacles, which is luck. And they came through in the last reading together as well. That's interesting. So once you bring this, into form, once you start to really recognize that you are a co-creator and you create your own reality and set an intention and make a decision to move forward with whatever this is. And this might be free writing at first. This might be just, you might want to express more on social media that you're passionate about. It may be that you want to do something artistically where you create tarot decks or oracle decks or, whatever it is, whatever form of expression using the word, the spoken word, the written word. This is the time, and it's the generosity that will come from that. People will really appreciate it, and it's going to be bring you some luck and some fortune in some way. And that could be on an emotional level, where you just really feel satisfied and really are aligned with yourself in a way that you maybe haven't been in a long time. That could be material, because you have so many pentacles here that you could have material manifestation from that. It could turn out to be a real money maker for you, or even possibly a career. Who knows? Because the possibilities are literally endless. Sometimes we just need to bring ourselves into believing that. So we have the word wants to be expressed and spoken here, and we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is about isolation. So, isolation, confusion, you've felt conflicted about this. So maybe this is something you've already been thinking about for those of you that connect with this. because this implies that it's something you've considered, it's something you've been drawn to, that maybe you're passionate about, but you haven't taken the action for that yet, for whatever those reasons are, whatever's been blocking you. But we also have the Four of Pentacles, which is all about control. You know, you've got things there. Things are present for you, but you're not seeing them necessarily. Maybe because you want to have too much control over the process, because we all want to know how things are going to unfold. You know, that kiss it up to the sky thing, lots of us are not comfortable with doing that. However, you know, in order to really manifest things, you just got to believe. And you've got to believe in yourself. And you've got to let go of some of that control. Now, for others of you, this could be where you've been isolated by others, where you've been discouraged by others to express yourself, to start an endeavor like this that involves that written or spoken word, communicating out to a broader, wider audience. You know, maybe somebody's been really squashing you on that, you know, has been sort of gaslighting you a little bit, telling you that, you know, that's not a good idea, you're not capable, you're not special, or whatever it happens to be. Maybe there's a lot of negative feedback around this with the control and with the isolation, and you've been feeling really stuck on your own with this urging. This is going to end. This is coming to an end. It's time for you, if that's the case, it's time for you to take your own inner knowing and control back and get yourself aligned with this and go for it. Just go for it, because, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. This is your life. It's your individual life. And yes, your life affects others, but the better you can make your life for yourself, the better things will be for everyone around you. You know, when you vibrate higher, you bring a higher vibration to everything, and everything shifts and changes. And if this is you exerting too much control over something and you've boxed yourself in around this, it's time to let that go. It's time to, you know, even if it's baby steps, one thing at a time, you know, just releasing one page, or putting out one poem, or releasing the lyrics to one particular song, or part of a song, or, you know, if you're doing a vlog or a podcast, or you want to do something like that, just start with little live videos somewhere, like, you know, on other social media, that kind of thing. But it's time for you to get past this. And we know this because, you know, this speaks to bringing it into form, which means it's coming down from your intuition and your imagination, down into your mental body thought form, down into your expression, you know, your intention, and then down into the material world. That's how it comes, you know, because you've got action here on top of bringing it into form, the Three of Pentacles. So this is all about making a decision. And yes, there may be other influences with your decision, but rely on yourself and your inner knowing for this, because you know what you know, right? Like, you just instinctively know, and don't question that gut anymore. Like, pay attention to it and move through this and go for this. Whatever this is, for those of you connecting to this, go for it. Ignite this new passion, or reignite an old passion that you set aside for whatever reasons you set it aside in the past, if that's the case. But now is the time. There's a very clear message for this. And then you have the Eight of Cups here, which is all about departure. So this can mean one of a few things. It can mean literally that you are leaving a situation sometime in the near future connected to this. So you're either leaving an emotional situation, a physical situation, or emotional situation, and you're moving on. It could literally mean travel, where you're going to physically travel from one place to another in order to benefit this unfolding and bringing this into reality. It could also be that you see that the way that things have been going, it's not been working for you. And so this Eight of Cups is all about knowing when it's time to let something go, you know, and move forward and move on. So you'll have to decide for you personally how the message is playing out for you. but that's generally what that means. So just to recap this, or no, sorry, not to recap, we just did that. So we're gonna add a little bit of crystal energy to this. Crystals are beautiful resonating energy, and they all vibrate at different frequencies, and they all attune to different emotions. So we're going to pull out some of those, and we'll just split the deck and see what we come up with here. Okay, so under this first one, where you're bringing things, you know, where you're coming to life, and you've got this luck energy and this generosity energy here. You've got chrysoprase, which is all about, gotta put my glasses on, it's super small, fearless movement. Yeah, so it's time for you to get going with this. And you've got red jasper, which is all about nurturing. So you've got to look after yourself and make a decision and move forward with whatever this is for you, for those of you that picked this Sacred Rebels deck. Because now is your time. Now is your time to let go of that, you know, that control, and to let go of the isolation, to come out. And the movement speaks to the isolation as well, right? And then we've got apatite, which is a beautiful stone about foresight. So seeing things, you know, it's like foreshadowing, so to speak, foresight, being able to see things as they might unfold. And with fifth dimensional living, you know, that's all about being able to access possible outcomes sort of within the moment and choose direction. So you've got the movement here in foresight. So you're going to be getting messages around whatever this is. Messages in dreams, messages through lyrics you keep hearing. If there are ads that keep repeating, you know, something about the visual or the wording is going to cue you or trigger you. Messages through people, repeated animals, repeated numbers, you know, pay attention and look them up, because you're going to be receiving messages that are going to help to guide you on whatever this is. And then you have hematite, which is spiritual grounding. So again, this is all about your intuition, your journey, and you being grounded, you know, in your space, and allowing this imagination and this energy and this intuition, you know, all of these brilliant ideas to come forward. But you've got to be grounded in yourself and connected, and hematite is a lovely stone to do that. I have some on this bracelet that I created. It's lovely because it's soft. Some grounding stones are the energy is very hard and strong. This one is more gentle. And then over here, you know, bringing it into the form, you've got moldavite, which is star child. So some of you could be connected, you know, to a star. You could be starseed. You could be light workers that are just unfolding right now, that are just revealing this. You're just coming into this realization of this connection that you have, you know, because that's what this one is all about with the moldavite, is that star child connection, being connected to, you know, otherworldly energies, so to speak. And green calcite, which is all about letting go. Yeah. And this is about letting go in several ways. We've seen the control, the isolation, you know, the movement. It is time to make this leap with whatever this is, and have faith in yourself, you know, because this is very exciting. And it's an interesting spin on how it's, you know, how it's all playing out. But this is very much connected to your creative energy and your, you know, getting brave and pushing past those, you know, those glass ceilings that people have put in place for you, where you feel like you couldn't go any higher. You absolutely can, and just take baby steps if that's what you need, and, you know, measure your steps, but allow a certain amount of control to allow some of that to let go. You know, let go of some of that control and that micromanaging. If that's your energy, and if that's somebody else's energy, then you need to take that back and not allow other people's negative talk or influence to weigh your path so heavily. Because in the end, you know, this is your path. This is your happiness. You're meant to experience joy and to do all the things that it is that you want to do and create in this world. And you have a right to do that, you know? So really take some time for yourself. And if you've already had a spark or an inkling of what this is, if this is not a new thing for you, it's really time to revisit it and to open it up. All right, so let's draw on one more advice card for this reading. This is exciting. I'm happy about this. There's always a solution of the highest good, and that's true, absolutely. So this is all around whatever's been blocking you, whatever's been restricting you, and stopping this energy of generosity and luck and, you know, good fortune with the pentacles in the material. Whatever's caused this isolation and this controlling, you know, energy around manifesting whatever this is in terms of the word, you know, your expression coming out, get in alignment. There is a solution for everything. Getting grounded, like the hematite suggests, nurturing yourself, you know, like the red jasper suggests, really getting yourself connected within your own space is important, and believing and relying on yourself intuitively is important. Having faith in your intuition and your good judgment, you know, and taking those little risks that move you forward is really the key. And being solution-based as opposed to problem-based. It's all about perspective, right? If we come from a space of the why I shouldn't, don't like that word, then that's the energy that's going to come forward. If we come at it to how do we solve this? How do I create this? How do I move through these perceived blocks? Then the solution is you're solution oriented. So that's what's going to come to you. So this is a really exciting message. For those of you that are attracted to this message, I would love some feedback if things are unfolding and if things do connect in the coming weeks. Please return and give me some feedback in the comments, and like and subscribe as well to help me build and grow. That would be awesome. So this is your message for those of you that chose the second deck for the Sacred Rebels. And please remember, live big and shine your light bright. You matter. Until next time. Hi everyone, if you've chosen the third deck, then this is your reading. So we're going to get started with that. Let's take a look. So the deck that you've chosen is the Lightworker Starseeds deck. So this will be for those of you that are either, you identify already as a Starseed or a Lightworker, or you're curious about what that is and you've been called to this deck to, you know, perhaps get a spark, an introduction to it, or you are well on your journey and you just would like a little bit of direction or messages from Spirit to see where things are unfolding next or what you need to hear. So we're going to start with 3 cards to get a base message. We'll use some tarot to get some more detail, and then we will use some more oracle to round out the message. Okay, so we're going to get started with this. And this printing is super tiny. So the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. So there you go, exactly what I just said for those of you. So some of you are going to come into this reading not really awakened, and something's going to spark or trigger that connection for you, and you're going to have a spontaneous awakening. For some of you, this could be an activation that's within the message or the cards for you, where you're going to be receiving an upgrade, an activation in your frequency. And then integration time is integrating your new knowledge and understanding and connection into your existing form, right? So that's all about things aligning. It's like when you learn any new skill. the skill comes in, there's a learning curve. You know, there's discomfort, there's signs and symptoms that you need to work through that you might not be familiar with, that kind of thing. So it's integrating that, it's giving yourself time to really let things gel and to come together, to gel together, okay? So the next one is the courageous peony. Multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. So this is all around living big and not living small. So some of you who are coming into this reading, you've not been shining your light. You've been holding yourself back for, you know, because of 3D, three-dimensional based restrictions and emotions, perhaps. And it is time. It is time for you to activate. It is time for you to integrate. It's time for you to upgrade and shine your light in whatever way that is. And it could just be by really being who you are inside. Maybe you show a certain mask to the world, and you know the people that you love the most who are in your close circle get to see you without that mask. They get to see, you know, who you authentically are. And you're being shown here, the message coming through is it's time for everybody to see who you are. And that doesn't mean give out the details of, you know, every piece of your day and all of that. It's not about conversation. It's not about sharing information. It's about the essence of who you are and what's important to you and how you carry yourself and move through, you know, this world, this cosmos, the 5D to the 4D to the 3D. This is all about that. This is letting your light shine. You've got gifts. You've definitely got gifts to share and things that are going to be activated. Then we have earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. So some of you have been struggling with this feeling like you don't belong here, like on this earth, that your home is somewhere else, literally somewhere else cosmically, and you struggle with, you know, witnessing the conditions in the world right now, especially, and it just doesn't align with who you are. It doesn't align with a longing, you know, deep within you. And so this is asking you, this is all about integration, right? Activation, being seen. This is all about bringing those things together and understanding that, yes, we are spirits that are housed in bodies. That's essentially who we are. We are part of that collective consciousness. And for those of you that are already on this path, you know, I'm preaching to the choir, so to speak. You already understand this. For those of you that don't, this is new to you. We are all part of a larger collective consciousness all around us. And that's why sometimes you'll be thinking about someone and they phone you, you know, or that's why someone will be thinking about you and you text them after so long or drop by and see them, or you've been thinking about a certain something for so long and all of a sudden the opportunity is there for you, you know. It's those connections. It's also connection, you know, to communicate. So we are these essences of spirit that have chosen to come in human form and live out this earth, but we are not necessarily of this earth, you know, and the balance is living as spirit, which is high frequency, high dimension, you know, light body, light energy in this dense three-dimensional physical form on this earth, because the energy is much more dense, you know, it's physical, it's tangible. And so part of our jobs, all of our jobs on this, you know, this earth, is to transmute the energies that block this physical form and transmute, let things go, you know, clear the emotional body, clear the mental body, and then the spiritual body it's got more room for that light energy to fill you up. It's got more room for you to be in tune and access and move within this world more successfully, because we can fight it all we want and we can say, you know, I'm tired of this world, I'm sick of it, I just want to go home, you know, why am I here? All of these statements, but those statements vibrate in a very low frequency. So you continue to get more struggle when you choose to have that as your main frame of reference, your main frame of thinking. That's the energy you're giving off, for those of you that are, unfamiliar with this. And when we come to the acceptance and we own that we are spiritual beings in these bodies, and we move through this world, but we're not of this world, it creates a whole new relationship and a whole new perspective that makes it much easier to live within this world physically, and it also raises your vibration. And for every single person that raises up their vibration, for every single soul that works to do that, to bring more light energy to the world, literally changes everyone around you. Like, I'm on fire and seeing an aura around the camera right now. Like, this is really powerful for some of you that have come to this. It's your time. Whether it's your time for an upgrade where you're really going to see your gifts come forward, or whether this is your time in terms of opening up to the concept of being a light worker, being a starseed, being of this world, in this world, but not of this world, to really start to research that and learn more about that and connect with that, because so much of the way we experience life is about the lens we see it through and the perspective. And if we look at it that we're a victim and why am I here and everything sucks, then that's the vibrational energy that's going to surround you. If you look at it from, okay, let's take a look at this, let's see what I can do, even if you don't necessarily believe it at first, play with it and see what happens. And see if things don't start to shift for you, because in my personal opinion, I feel that they will. Okay, so let's take a look here at some tarot. That was a long introduction, but it's important because these are very deep concepts, right? They're very, very deep. So over top of this one, where we've got this spontaneous awakening with the blue flame, activation and integration time, you have got the Lovers, Angels of Commitment, and you've got Eight of Swords, restriction. So perhaps you've been restricted in swords of, that they're all about that mental energy, that heavy energy. So on some level, you felt restricted around this opening up, or around your new elevation, your new upgrade. You could sense something's coming if you're already in this process, but you just couldn't open yourself up to it yet. There's a block there somehow, or you're restricting yourself because you're afraid to shine your light. And no more of that. It's time. You will be so happy once you do that, and now we've got the Lovers, which are the Angel of Commitment, which is Major Arcana. So this could mean one of a couple of things. It could mean that you are in a primary relationship with someone, and this person is going to help and support you to get out of this restrictive energy and move, help you with this process. It could also be that you're going to, if you're single or not attached, you're going to meet someone that is going to become very important to you, that is going to help you in this process, in this evolution and this unfolding. Now, the Lovers doesn't always have to be romantic. It can be a soulmate energy. It can be a friendship energy, where it's platonic, but you have a deep, deep love for one another, It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it definitely could be romantic, because with that blue flame connection, you could be connecting in also with that twin flame connection, where, the theory behind that is that every piece of our consciousness that was, our spirit, has its identical other half. And that's a twin flame energy. And this is really in a nutshell, like so please don't get upset that I'm glossing over it. It's a whole thing on its own. But in a nutshell, it's basically that we have a mirror image energy of ourselves out there that, we're meant to be drawn to throughout a lifetime. And it differs in different lifetimes, whether you connect with them or whether you don't. But this could be suggesting that as well for you, that maybe you're coming into this twin flame energy where you're really going to see big shifting and big upgrading, because that is such a beautiful sacred union, and it completely blows, everything out of the water. It's not all sunshine and roses necessarily, but it's a beautiful thing. So that's That's what this could be around. This could also just really be around your self-love, that you've been restricting yourself and not allowing yourself to break open into this, you know, for fear of, well, for fear, you know, with the restriction. But the self-love is coming in with the lover's commitment. Make a commitment to your spiritual self, you know, make a commitment to your higher self and to your cosmic team, you know, in love, and things will just unfold and come forward with so much passion, with so much intensity, you know, with so much truth, because love vibrates, you know, at about 500 and above, you know, so anything, if you vibrate higher than that or within that love range, that's just a beautiful feeling, and it emanates out, and that's what the universe is feeling from you, so that's what it brings back. And then here over, letting your light shine. It's really time to do that, you know. The courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, and lift yourself, or let yourself be seen. So this is all about you having something very special to offer. You have unique gifts to offer. And we've got the Seven of Swords here, which is all about, this says theft, but it's not necessarily. It's also could be about, you know, something is hidden. You know, there's been a hidden agenda somewhere. Someone is, you're on the defense, so to speak. You're feeling defensive about something. Things are not fully aligned. Perhaps you don't have all the information, or haven't had all the information that you've needed around, you know, something that's connected to this. And there's something hidden, or there's like a lack of trust, so to speak. Like there's something that's not aligned, and you're sort of standing back, and you're ready to guard things. You've been guarded somewhat. And then you have the King of Pentacles, which is all about generosity. So this could represent a physical person. It's a male energy, it's a masculine energy, but it doesn't have to represent male or female. It can represent any. So if there's someone in your life, you know, that has this generous spirit, that is willing to offer support and good advice, and, you know, is fairly steady, then that could be a person that will come in and support you and help you open up to these gifts. This person could also represent this lovers. So maybe it's someone like this who is established and fairly self-assured, you know, around this, who will come in and connect with you on that deep level. And again, it doesn't have to be male or female. It can be any. So it's, you know, it's individual according to how this reading is connecting with you and with your higher self. And then with this earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it, we've got Three of Cups, which is celebration. So this is all about, to me, celebrating the change. Oh, and sorry, also you've got Five of Swords, loss. We're going to put this underneath here because you're overcoming this loss, and you're overcoming this other swords energy through this process. But you've maybe been worried that you are going to lose something in this 3D realm. You're going to lose connections. You're going to lose, I don't even know what it is, you know, respect, friendships, whatever it is for you, personal for you. But often when you're on a journey like this, you know, when you're getting connected and you're connecting into a new tribe of people and souls, life shifts. Life definitely does shift. And there are people and things, situations that will naturally drop away because that's part of the evolutionary process. What doesn't serve us, you know, as we elevate, those things fall away. We let those things go, and that's natural, and that's expected, you know. But maybe you've had a fear of loss. If you really own this and shine your light and show the world how unique you are, perhaps you've had some fear of judgment around that, fear of losing people. Perhaps you've already lost some connections in your life because you've started this, you know, and so it made you sort of falter a little bit. But understand that you've got some beautiful things that want to unfold for you, and there are things to celebrate. Like it says in this Three of Cups celebration, this is about coming together with like-minded people, with people from your tribe, so to speak, and you'll know and intuitively feel who those people are. And they are also learning. You know, those of us on this journey, we're all constantly learning how to be in this world but not of this world, learning to be human forms, you know, moving our way through this without becoming so overly attached to all of the three-dimensional aspects of things, you know, being able to let go, being able to tune in and communicate differently and really affect our realities, because we have a different understanding, you know, a deeper understanding and connection of how the universe works. So let's take a look at some crystal energy. Sorry if this took a long time, but that's a really deep read, and things just keep coming through, messages just keep coming. So let's take a look here at the crystal energy that can support these, and then we'll do a final card. And please, if you're getting something from this, if you're connecting with it, just click the like button and subscribe if you wish to stay connected. I'd really love that, so I can build and share with more and more people and help support them on this wild, crazy ride. All right. Okay, so here on top of the Lovers and restriction, the spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration, you've got Amazonite, which is the middle road, so balance. So you've been out of balance, and it's time to get yourself back into balance. That's what that middle road means. And then we have Imperial Topaz, which is confident manifestation. So again, this is time. This is time for you to be confident that this is the window for you, a window for you. You're either beginning this journey and it's just gonna click for you, which is the unusual way that this happens, you know, or you're on the journey with intention, and it's time for you to really manifest this uniqueness in you, this beautiful quality gift that you've got that needs to be seen by the world. It literally just needs to be seen. You need to open yourself up to that. And under that card, we've got Peach Calcite, which is harmonizing. So getting into harmony. Again, the middle road is balance. Then we've got the harmony. And then we've got Rhodochrosite, which is self-love. See? These are all connecting in. Like, this is all about integrating yourself. You know, this is all about connecting all the pieces of who you are as a spirit in human form, and really working towards creating harmony in this physical world as a spirit in human form. This is all about loving yourself and seeing it from the positive, beautiful perspective that it is, because you can then become this powerful, powerful manifester and create this beautiful, you know, reality just through your commitment and your belief and your connection. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So then we've got Charoite, I'm not sure how to say that, and individualization. See, again, you've got this individualization coming through here. Your unique ability, your uniqueness needs to shine. And then you've got individualization here, and the purple is your connection to higher source. That's the chakras that are connecting you to your higher self, to spirit, to starseeds, you know, your angels. That's this cosmic connection. And then we have clear calcite, which is universal mind. Like, you can't make this up. This is like, look at all these cards. And this is what comes through. Like, this is perfectly aligned. Perfectly aligned. So for those of you that drew this, were drawn towards this Lightworkers Starseeds deck, this is a really powerful message for you, that you are in a window. And at this particular time, although this is a timeless message, and whenever you see it, this is when you need to see it, in real time, you know, so to speak, we're in a new moon energy. So this is even more powerful for those of you that are watching this during a new moon energy. because that's when the energy of this was created and the messages were channeled through that energy. So that's, yeah, that's brilliant. I'm excited for those of you that are really connecting with this. In particular, those of you that this is new for, you know, this you're in for a fantastic journey. So your final message is, when I move my body, I bust through all that blocks me from my true health and vitality. So this is about the physical body, but this is also about your mental, emotional body, you know, your spiritual body. When you use them and, you know, you push through those blocks, that's when we improve. That's when things are healthy. It's by facing those challenges. It's by looking at them from a positive and having that willpower and that self-discipline to, you know, go for that physical walk, let's say, or go for that mental walk with a meditation, you know, or write that letter or that journal to have that expression. But when you are in movement, when you are taking some kind of action, proactive, then that brings about that great change. Because when we're like the, you know, sort of the hanged man, and we're not doing anything, we're just sitting there, like in the restriction, you know, with the Eight of Swords, that's stagnant energy. That's not going anywhere. So that you're going to sit exactly where that energy puts you, and there won't be any growth necessarily, right? So that's what this is all about. It is time for you to move, for you to take some action, really realize your unique self and the gifts you have to bring in this world. And although you are not of this world, you have chosen on some level to be in this world. And it's a much better idea to, you know, to get on board with that and work with it and harmonize your energies and your connections, and then help others to, you know, open up to love, this universal love and universal mind and this beautiful life, as opposed to, you know, the negative aspect of feeling like you're stuck, because you have the power as a universal being to create that change. So those of you that chose the third deck, those are your messages that came through. Thank you so much for your patience and watching. Remember to live big, shine your light bright, because you matter. Until next time.